What's up YouTube, it's your boy NaughtyNev. Welcome back to another video. So today I would like to take the opportunity to discuss with you guys my performance at the Nexus Hub OTS Tournament that I attended yesterday, because this video will be released the next day by the time you watch it. And there are two announcements I need to make. Very sad announcements. Number one, we did not top the OTS tournament. Very sad, very unfortunate. But the most sad news you're going to hear is, unfortunately, I was not able to get my K9 cards yet. I am still waiting for them. They are on the way. And so, due to that, the deck list I have decided to play for this OTS tournament is the same deck list I took to my state's championships, but there were slight changes made to my deck list. As you guys can see in the screen in front of you, I have laid it all out. I was going to do it like, showing you the actual cards, but I figured it would just be easier. Cool. So here you go. This is the deck list. I'll go over the deck list and we will quickly discuss about my matchups and what's happened. So if you guys have seen my videos for the stage championships, keeping up with the videos, watching the deck profiles, you guys will know here it is almost entirely the same deck list. There's only one change to the main deck. I did play 54 cards, but now you can see it's 53. The change, the change I made was I was playing 2 Hertz. I decided to take a second copy out because when you go through a Cyber Dark combo or a Cyber Dragon combo, you do just need 1 Hertz. So I took it out, and guys, I do want to say that, that was actually pretty fine. Just dropping the 1 Hertz, pretty fine. I did not need a second copy. As you guys already know as well, we played the Fiendsmith and the Castillo engine because this is keynote. I am playing this build going first. Obviously, I wouldn't play the Castillo package going second because I would put in board breakers or more hand traps. I want to play Cyber Dragons going first. Now you guys may be thinking, why did I not take pure Cyber Dragons? First of all, I do own a set of Fualos, but I don't own a set of Purulia, so I wasn't going to be happy just going with Fualos. And I was expecting everybody to play the new decks, which they did. For example, Yummy, K9, K9 variants, Vanquish All K9, etc. And having to deal with your opponent's board that has been set up with 10,000 negates, and our biggest enemy being Droll and Lockbird, no. Pure Cyber Dragons cannot do that. You will suffer. So I'm not saying you can't play pure Cyber Dragons, but in my personal opinion and experience, we needed a way to at least try and play under Droll. And it is very easy to summon a Castillo monster. You summon Core effect, you add Cyber Dark Realm, and then you get Drolled. Number 1, you punish your opponent, banish a card from the extra deck. And number 2, you cannot continue playing because you're under Droll. And so these 2 cards, boom, they start Fiendsmith. There you go. That was my thinking. I am very happy with this deck list. I have no complaints. So that's the change I made. Just cutting the 1 Hertz. Cool. Everything else is the same. 3 Ash Blossom, 1 Cyber Dragon, 3 Cyber Dragon Core, 1 Hertz, 1 Ashtor, 1 Cyber Human Garda, 1 Chimera, 3 Cyber Dark Claw, 1 Cyber Dark Worm, 3 Droll, 1 Lure, 3 Fiendsmith Engraver, 1 Fenrir, 3 Unicorn. Unicorn was putting in the work today, guys. Then we have 1 Lacuma, 3 Fualos, 1 Regulus, 1 Callby, 2 Clockwork Knight, 1 Crossout, 3 Cyber Emergency, 3 Cyber Dark Realm, 1 Cyber Lord Fusion, 2 Fiendsmith Tract, 1 Birth, 1 Poly, 2 Power Bond, 1 Pressure Planet Greatsouth, 1 Fiendsmith in Paradise, and 3 Imperm. The extra deck has remained the same. No changes were made. We still play the 1 Fortress, 1 Mega Fleet, 2 Rampage Dragon, 1 Fiendsmith Desiree, 1 Heroes Varag, 1 Necrocore Princess, 1 Infinity, 1 Nova, 1 Wave High King Caesar, 1 Clockwork Knight, 1 Requiem, 1 Sequence, 1 Moon of the Close Heaven, and SP Little Knight. The changes we made to our side deck, though, is I have decided to include Ghost Bell and Dark Ruler. Dark Ruler and Bell is specifically for either K9, Azuna sending Lupus to summon from the grave. That is what Bell is for. And Dark Ruler is actually for Yummy. Now, It would be fantastic to go second with Cyber Dragons and to OTK your opponent. However, Yummy is such a powerful deck, especially with the Link 1 Snatchy, which is not once per turn you get to Synchro Summon. They can bring out Herald. They do set up a really strong end board, and guys, I personally, Dark Ruler is really good going second against Yummy. I have no regrets because the idea is you negate their field, you get rid of the back row, you just have to deal with the back row and hand traps that they may possibly be playing. And once you break their board, you establish your board and you are fine. I am happy with Dark Ruler. I will continue playing it. So we played a 3 Ghost Spell, 3 Dark Ruler. We took out the Forbidden Droplet and the Chaos Hunters. We still play 3 Lanciers for Maliss. There are still Maliss players around here. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm because gotta respect back row or just attack position monsters, and 3 D-Barrier because 3 D-Barrier is still really good. So this is the deck list, guys. 53 cards. Now let's talk about our matchup. So unfortunately, like I said, we did not top. We played 5 rounds and the overall score was 2 wins with 3 loss. Now, game 1, we went up against Branded Despia. Not Branded Dracotel, just Branded Despia, pure Branded. And we did we lose the die roll? I believe we lost the die roll. Yes, we lost the die roll. Opponent won game 1. Then we went into game 2, and luckily I managed to take the win. So we went into game 3, guys, and opponent was going first. And he set up his board. I did have an interruption. I had Bell in my opening hand, guys. Just Bell. That was the only hand trap I had. I decided to save that Ghost Bell for his Branded Banishment. Now, guys, I made a mistake. Branded Banishment effect, to be specific, is about fusion summoning. It's not about moving a card from the graveyard. Only its whole effect is to fusion summon. Now, unfortunately, activating Bell, this card negates the activation. And when you have Branded Lost on the field, Bell does nothing. That was my mistake, guys. I shouldn't have kept Bell. I should have kept Lancia, because if they activate Branded Banishment, I activate Lancia, boom. They cannot. My opponent would typically bring out Lad or Star Source Dragon, the monster that pops cards on the field. So that was my mistake, guys. That was the only mistake. It was playing Bell instead of Lancia and not understanding that Bell, not Bell, that Branded Banishment's entire effect is actually to fusion summon. That was my mistake, guys. That's on me. I made that mistake. But guys, let me tell you, opponent went full combo, guys. He went full combo. And I was playing really well against his board. That the last card we had was actually Cyber Dark Realm. And when he activated Branded Banishment, I was like, cool, I'm going to chain Bell. He's like, yeah, cool, that's fine. You can activate Bell. But it's not going to negate because of Branded Lost. And so he was able to fusion summon. And because I couldn't do anything, he stopped my Chimera. He stopped me from getting Clockwork Knight to contact use his board, because that was the last interruption he had, guys. Just Branded Banishment. So we lost. Unfortunately, we lost. It was a good effort. I made a mistake, but we lost. But let's move on. So game number 2, we went up against Maliss. We lost the die roll. Opponent in game 1, guys, Maliss going full combo is absolutely insane. So my opponent did go full combo. I did try to play through all his interruptions, but I wasn't successful. So we're going into game number 2. In game number 2, all I can remember is that for Maliss, Clockwork Knight is the MVP, guys. I did have Unicorn in my hand, along with Cyber Dark Realm for our combo. And because my opponent was activating some monster effects, Unicorn banished his white Binder, and then we banished his red Ransom. Pretty good banishes, if I do say so myself. But also Clockwork Knight was the MVP. So we won game 2. Then we went into game number 3. My opponent was able to go full combo again, and we actually did not have any interruption, guys. No interruption. I believe. I think that's what I remember. I could be wrong, but that's what I can remember. So I drew for turn. We did have Fiendsmith in our hand with Cyber Dragon Core and Cyber Dark Claw, sorry. So first thing we did was activate Fiendsmith Engraver. Fiendsmith Engraver was doing its job, as I already told you. It's either to set up your Wave Hiking Caesar, your Fiendsmith Desiree, or it's to bait out hand traps or interruptions. And Fiendsmith Engraver was working really well. My opponent did use his MTP07 to banish Lacrima, and then I normal summon Core effect. He used Ally Core Talker to negate, but then he did activate Marche to banish his Heart Scriptor. Heart Scriptor summoned itself, but here's the thing. Heart Scriptor did not have a Maliss name banished in order to use its effect to banish one of my cards. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, damn, actually, you can't do anything. So I actually could play through his board going the Cyberdark Realm combo. And I just went into Clockwork Knight. He had Dominus Impulse for our Power Bond. But because I still had Cyberdark Worm on the field, I just contact fused his board into Fortress Dragon for 5 material, so 5,500 attack. I simply attacked him. Then with my other cards, I linked into SP Litanite, and I passed for turn. He drew for turn, but he couldn't do anything because of Clockwork Knights turning all monsters into machines, and he requires Cybers monsters for the rest of his extra deck monsters. And so he gave game, and then we won. Fantastic. So our first win. Game number 3, we went up against Orcust Mitsurugi. So we won the die roll, but my opponent dropped Fuwalos on me. Now, unfortunately, I did have combo, but I couldn't negate the Fuwalos with Crossout, Callby, or Ash Blossom. I had Fiendsmith and I had Cyber Dragon plays, but because of Fuwalos, I just went Fiendsmith just to go into Requiem so that I can use Requiem's effect to summon Lacrima to send Paradise as a disruption. And I did have Fuwalos in my hand, so the plan was when Requiem uses effect, I'll control no cards on the field, and then I can activate Fuwalos. Cool. So my opponent goes, he starts off with Mitsurugi plays. And here I was thinking, oh damn, okay. He could be playing Mitsurugi Ryzeal or pure Mitsu. So my opponent carries on playing, and I did exactly what I said, activate Requiem, and then I chained Fuwalos because I had an open field. But then I saw that my opponent summoned one of the Mitsurugi monsters from the deck, and then eventually I drew to draw. Now when he managed to get Habakiri and Murakumo onto the field, I was like, oh, okay, damn, he's probably going to start his Ryzeal play. So when he activates an effect that added a card from his deck to the hand, even though I had Fuwalos, maybe I should have just not activate draw so I can get more draws. But I decided, let me not let my opponent go any further. So I activated draw, but then he summoned Orcust Horror, I think that's what it's called. And that's when I realized, oh damn, I'm kind of screwed. I just drawed myself instead of getting 3 draws, and he's not playing Ryzeal, he's playing Orcust. So unfortunately in game 1, he just summoned enough monsters to go into battle phase and attack us for game. Then we go into game number 2. I managed to go full combo. I had every single piece of engine. Unicorn, Fiendsmith, and I believe I had Cyberdark Realm combo. We went full combo. My opponent did try, but he wasn't able to play through our board, so we took game 2. Then we go into game number 3, guys, and I believe my opponent must have went first. Yes, I believe my opponent went first. I can't remember the interaction, but what I do know is I think it was my turn. I could be wrong. I think it was my turn. Now, guys, unfortunately, against Orcust Mitsurugi, we lost on time because of Power Bond. Very unfortunate. We had like 4 minutes left. At 4 minutes remaining, I ended my turn. I took 2,100 damage, and it was my opponent's turn. He played, now guys, some people may be saying, oh, was he playing slow? Was he time stalling? No, he wasn't. He was playing, just at the right speed. He wasn't slow play, nothing. It was perfectly fine. He did try every single possible thing, and then I saw like, oh, okay, he's still going. He was actually still going. But then when they called time, I was like, hey, he even told me he has no burn cards. I already took 2,100 damage, and he was still at 8,000 life points. And so we lost on time, guys. Very unfortunate. But he was still going, but he wasn't going to break our board. That's what I believe. He wasn't going to break our board. If he passed for turn, we were able to just go straight into battle phase. But we lost on time. Very unfortunate, but it happens, guys. That's the downside of playing Power Bond. Now, game number 4, we went up against Blue Eyes, and we won the die roll, and we were going first, guys. But wow, guys, Blue Eyes, one thing about them is they have 3 1-card starters, and they can play tons of hand traps. We had to play against Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre, Bell, Imperm. Guys, it was crazy. So my opponent had like 3 hand traps in his opening hand, so that did limit my plays, and he won game 1. Then game number 2, I went first. Full combo, guys. We went full combo. My opponent couldn't do anything, so we go into game number 3. My opponent is going first. He has Solemn Strike set. He has Majesty with Eyes of Blue, the card that trap card that pops. He had Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Then he had Ghost Ogre in his hand and an Ash Blossom. And guys, through all that interruption, oh, and also he had Spheres. I just remembered he used Spheres. Through all that, I managed to win, and I managed to break his board and win because I summoned Cyber Dragon, and unfortunately the player was not aware actually about our contact views, our mini board breakers. So as soon as I summoned Special Dragon and he had no response, I simply just went into Mega Fleet, got rid of his Spheres. He attempted to use Sphere's effect, but then he realized he actually does not have any dragon monsters in his deck. Yes, guys, I know for Blue Eyes it's quite crazy, but he literally sided out all his bestials, and his Blue Eyes White Dragons were already on the field or in grave. So he had no target, so he couldn't use that effect. Cool. Then, as we carried on playing, I realized that he had Solemn Strike. He negated the summon of my Cyber Dragon Nova because I figured off core, since I already had Cyber Dark Realm, I added Cyber Emergency to get me Cyber Jormungandr. Then when I use Jormungandr effect, summon Cyber Dragon. Sorry about that. Then we went into Nova, and on the summon of Nova, my opponents then Solemn Strike. Cool. Now, I'm not sure, maybe you guys can tell me. I just want to take this opportunity to ask. This is what Nova says. If this card in your possession. Now, here's the thing, guys. If we try to exceed summon Nova and our opponent chains Solemn Strike to negate the summon, can someone who knows about this, because I am very unsure, how does this wording work? Can we trigger Nova's effect here? Just let me know in the comment section if you know. Cool. Now let's carry on. Eventually, I managed to carry on playing because our boy Cyber Dark Worm, we activated Power Bond, our first Power Bond, by the way. We activated our first Power Bond, but our opponent negated that with Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. But hey, guys, we played 2 copies. I had the second copy in my hand, and Power Bond is not once per turn, so we activate Power Bond again, banish from the grave, fusion summon into Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon. On summon, we popped his True Light, and True Light did the job for us, just destroyed his entire field. And yeah, and then we won the game from there, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Then we go into game number 5. Yeah, game number 5. We went up against Rizal Mitsurugi, and guys, Rizal Mitsurugi is still a very powerful deck. We lost the die roll. Our opponent was going first. He went full combo, guys. Full combo, and I cannot play through a full combo board, so I just scooped game 1. We go into game number 2, and unfortunately, I only had Cyber Dragon plays. No Fiendsmith engine, no Kashtira engine, so it was just Cyber Dragon, and I had no hand trap. I kept draw. I kept D barrier, either to deal with the Rizal pot or the Mitsurugi pot. I had no hand traps. So it was just a standard Cyber Dragon end board with our Regulus, Infinity, Heroes of Rogue, and SP. I did have the Fiendsmith cards in rotation, but because we're under that lock of Cyber Dark Chimera, I just went into SP, and I kept Lacrima and Requiem in grave so that we could send Paradise. But guys, unfortunately, if Rizal Mitsurugi is able to have just the right amount of cards in the hand, which my opponent did have, he was able to play through all our interruptions, break our board, and win the game. So we did lose against Rizal Mitsurugi. Very unfortunate. So guys, that is all the matches. We won 2 games, lost 3. We could have won against Which one was it? Orcust Mitsu. No, not Orcust Mitsurugi. Sorry, I forgot the one. The one where we lost on time. We could have won that. So it could have been 3 wins and 2 losses, but 2 wins, 3 losses. It is what it is. But guys, I'm actually very happy with this deck list. No complaints. I did not break. Because I still had play. So I'm very happy with this deck list. It is what it is, guys. We played our best. I played my best. We played YuGiOh, and it is what it is. If your opponent has the out, they have the out. If they have full Wallows and you don't have any way to negate it, yeah, it kind of sucks. You just gotta do what you gotta do. So, guys, that is my performance. I hope it helps. Hope you enjoyed the video. I am hoping that for the next tournament, I am able to get my K9 cards so that we can finally play some K9 at our locals, at our tournaments. Going to be very exciting once I get those K9s. But others, guys, this is the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Naughty Nev signing out. Peace.